Welcome back to AthsTV. My name's Cam Luke, Danny Stevens, Matt Lynch here with me as well as Stuart McSweyn, of course. Back-to-back Zatopek winner, Commonwealth Games last year representative, and cross-country. You've been at the World Cross Country Championships a couple of years ago, and this weekend in Canberra it's going to be nice and warm, even though it's an early kick-off. We're going to see the Stromlo Forest. We're going to see a pretty cracked field as well to see. And who is going to qualify automatically? First two in the men's and the women's qualify for the World Championships in March, and then the 4 wildcard spots. And while you're not running this weekend, it's an exciting couple of months when it comes to cross country, not only in Australia but in the world.
Yeah, definitely. I think you look at the who we've got in the field this weekend trying to make the team. It's credit to how well distance running in Australia is going. There's probably up to 8 or 9 guys that could be in that probably the 4 guys selected. So yeah, it's pretty exciting times really. It means there's probably going to be a pretty good team leading into World Cross Country. As
we have a look at the track there, you won't be running this weekend, but do you know much about this particular track? Looks a little flat in this particular way, but will it help any of those athletes? Because of course, you said it's a very deep field and only 2 spots automatically. Yeah,
I think the good thing about Stromlo is it's pretty flat and fast. It probably just suits guys that are better on track. So it's kind of a bit different for a cross-country course, that it probably does suit the track runners more than it normally does.
So you think that might bring in those the 5K track guys a little bit more into it?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's only 1 hill per lap, and I think it's about maybe 150 metres. So it's not an overly hard cross-country course, but it makes it hard just because people are able to run really fast on it.
How does it differ to the cross-country course we're going to see at the World Cross-Country Championships in Denmark?
Yeah, I think this one, Stromlo's probably a little bit easier. I think Denmark, World Cross Country, they always make the course pretty hard because they want to try and separate the top guys. So I think it'll probably be a lot more hills. Temperature hopefully won't be as hot in Denmark as it will be on Sunday. But yeah, it will be a good leading event for the guys because obviously it's the 10K they'll run there will be the same as World Champs.
Yeah, of course. I think it's forecast to be about 34, 35 degrees in Canberra on the weekend. So who do you see out of the field and who would be your pick for this coming race?
Yeah, there's probably 2 guys that really stand out. Probably a slight favourite would be Brett Robertson. He won the trial in 2017. He's pretty experienced over the cross country. But another guy is to look for is Jack Rayner. He had a pretty phenomenal 2018 win the Commonwealth Games half. So I'd say they're probably the 2 guys that stand out, but there's probably 5 or 6 other guys that are going to be right around the mark to book a spot on that team.
How different is it running from track, and when it comes to obviously with the obstacles in some parts of the world, and obviously it isn't a track, so there's going to be mud and stuff in different parts of the world, but how different is your mindset from being a track runner into cross country? Do you think about it different ways? Do you think about tactics different way? What's the transition like?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. I know on track you're trying to focus, be pretty comfortable early and conserve energy, but at World Cross, when you've got 100 guys trying to get out of the gates, you've just got to go all out.
Is it more physical?
Yeah, it's definitely physical. You've got 6 guys per nation. There's a lot going on, pushing, shoving. So it's a race where the whole 10K you never feel comfortable. You're just trying to just keep going hard the whole way because, you know, pretty much every couple of seconds you'll lose a spot if you're not on. So yeah, it's definitely not easy, and probably 30 minutes you're out there is definitely probably the hardest 30 minutes you ever run in a race.
Do you ever tap into some of those guys that have had some great performances in the past, like Pat Tiernan's finished really high, Collis Birmingham, and even our own Benita Willis taking it out in 2004? Do you ever just maybe hit those guys up and just say what got you through there and got you up so high?
Yeah, definitely. I think what we've seen when people have done pretty well is they're not afraid to be in that front group, because pretty much at World Cross, if you're not in the lead group, you're not going to catch up. The guys are too good. So I think we saw Collis back in 2013. We saw Pat do it in 2017. They were pretty much in the lead the whole way. So I think if you want to be in that top 20, you've got to kind of follow the leaders a bit, just because you're not really going to catch it up unless you get on the pace straight away.
And the women's field can be just as hotly contested, and a lot of women are in a really good form as we led into it. Melissa Duncan is probably the quickest when it comes to on track over the shorter distance of the 1500. But then if you look at someone like Paige Campbell, who had PBs late into the year, so it's an intriguing race with the spots and the depth in the women's field as well. But the fact is that so many of these girls are in such good form.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be as exciting as the men's. There's probably, as we mentioned, there's probably up to 8 girls that could probably book a spot on that team. You've got girls like Melissa Duncan, who's in red hot form. Obviously, she ran a 15:20 at the end of December, which is pretty fast, being able to run that domestically. You've got girls, Emily Brickacek, who's the Australian representative. Yeah, as you mentioned, Paige Campbell as well. She's a big up-and-comer. She has pretty much ran PBs across all distances. So I think they're probably the 3 to look out for. But yeah, as we mentioned, there's probably 8 girls competing for at least the 4 spots on the World Cross Country team.
Yeah, I think it gives an opportunity for, it's no big standouts just at the moment, so I think it might give an opportunity for a dark horse probably popping through. That steeplechase could help Paige Campbell, you know, that experience of being unsteady on your feet all the time could help her get through.
Yeah, definitely. I think coming from a steeple background, it kind of is cross country because you never feel comfortable in a steeplechase, and that's how you feel in cross country. So I think based on how she performed at Zatopek as well, she'll be definitely a dark horse to watch out. She'll be right up there, and I wouldn't be surprised if she books a spot on the team.
Now there is 4 discretionary spots. We expect to see you in the world cross country team in a couple of months' time.
Yeah, so unfortunately I've got indoors next week, so I wasn't able to do the trial, but I'm hoping to be on the World Cross Country team at the end of March. I think with such a good men's team, there's no doubt we'll be close to a medal if everyone performs how they should be, which would be a good effort when you got countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda. But yeah, we'll just wait and see who's on that team. But yeah, firstly, we're just excited to see the guys race at this trial because it's going to be interesting who gets through based on the high standard field.
Lastly, I've got an idea. I've had this for a couple of years. I want to run it by you. I reckon we'll all agree. The IAAF should have cross-country at the Olympic Games. I think there's too much of a gap between the 10,000 and the marathon, and I think if you look at it, if you put a 13 or a 15k cross-country event in the Olympic Games, it shows the scenery of the host country, and I think it will be something that will add to intrigue of what people have already for track and field. Do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yes.
I definitely agree. I think
someone agree with my ideas.
I think there's not many cross-country races you watch that aren't exciting, so I think, it would definitely add a lot. Hopefully one day.
Well, Matt was doing some research on the World Cross Country course. A couple of things on it. Tell us what's in it.
It looks ridiculous. So they're actually running up the side of the museum where it's at. I think it's at Aarhus. I'm not sure how I pronounce it, but they run up the side of a mountain that's actually a museum, so it's built underground. There's a 50-metre bar that they run through, and I think there's a Viking channel, so I don't know what they're going to do through there, but I think they're really tapping into what Denmark's all about.
Just so we're aware, so when you say a bar, you mean where people are drinking?
I think so, yeah. Sounds great.
There you go. That'll probably entice you to make. If you're struggling, if you're struggling, it might entice you just to pull up stumps. But anyway, it's exciting. Olympic Games, I'm telling you, IAAF. I'm looking at you, Sebastian Coe. Stewie, good luck, mate.
Too easy, thanks.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with plenty more next.